We have two characters. Me and Morieston decided to have two characters, you know? The grown-up 40 years old and the 9 years old. Same character. And they intertwine, and it's exciting, and it's poetic, it's wonderful throughout the whole play. At the end, the young man sings a song which Morieston thought and created for the ending, because we agreed on the ending, in which the boy basically says, you seducers, you think you are 40 years old, you are 9, you are children, you are bambini, grow up. So that's explanation of the play 9, which is very, very important.
Yeah.
Because some people would resent the fact that we are better than Fellini. 8.5, you try to be 9, they would resent that. So it was very important for me and Morieston to decide that 9 should be a different, there should be a different reason for 9.
Okay, okay. Now, you seem to be talking very proud of Morieston.
Oh yeah, he's a wonderful composer.
All these songs were written by him, and the scores are also by him?
Yes, most of it. But you know, when you write, I give you a couple of examples, you know. When you collaborate, what you do, you write scenes, all right? And then the composer looks there, reads, and says, this scene is good. Maybe I could change it into a song. In one case, the best, it happened many times, but the best case is this. Saragina, you know, the character Saragina, is asked by the little children about sex and love. And I wrote a wonderful scene in which Saragina explains sex and love. Morieston says, oh my God, Mario, it's so good, you know, it's so good, but so good.
Saragina is the prostitute that in Fellini 8.5 is on the beach.
On the beach, exactly. So Morieston said, oh my God, Mario, my God, yeah, it's so good, it's so good, yeah. All right, he comes next day.
With the song.
With the song, Be Italian.
We will talk about Be Italian.
Which is fascinating, you know, absolutely fascinating. And then he's very diplomatic. He says, Mario, what do you think? We should keep your scene or the song? And the answer was obvious, the song, because the song is great.
I see, I see. Now, the play, I'm not sure the success that the play had on Broadway. Was it off Broadway?
Broadway. Big production.
No, the musical. The musical was on Broadway.
Sure. Oh yeah. No, the play was done at the Actor Studio and then in the theater, so it was an off-Broadway production. And it was very interesting because Ed Cleban, who is the lyricist of Chorus Line, he came to see it and says, Mario, these 6 passionate women could be a great musical. I'll introduce you to a young composer who could work with you.
How do you like
and
that?
he took me to the house of Morieston.
He lives in Manhattan?
In Manhattan, yes. Morieston was a young teacher of music at Yale. So I listened to the 2 songs. We're still there, the 2 great songs. And I said, oh my God, this guy is good. I say, Mori, okay, let's work.
Let's work.
And we worked for 7 long years.
Wow. But the effort was worth the while because your musical, gained or earned so many awards.
Tony Awards. That's
5, 6, 7 Tony Awards.
You know, it's always luck in a way, you know.
Yeah.
Producers were reluctant. They didn't want to do 9 because it's based on 8.5, which is a highly intellectual film. And they say, how can you do that? It's impossible. And they were right.
Yeah, of course.
And they were right. So the first 2-3 attempts we had with Morieston was to show, you know, the film with some good songs. It didn't work. So at one moment I decided I have to change everything. The moment I decided to change everything, to invent the fact that the protagonist was going to Venice with Casanova, changed the whole thing, because it gave me a chance, irony, sarcastic, irony, fun, dances, women. So that's what they want on Broadway. So what really saved the musical was my idea of sending the protagonist to Venice.
How do you like that? Now, talk about the protagonist, the main character. That's a very intellectual, complicated, troubled person. And while in the play, I think by reading it, you understand better than when you see it on TV, in a movie house. I don't know. I felt that maybe the intellectual aspect of the character himself. Some people may get it, some people may not, because there are two or three different levels of raconteur or telling the story. So sometimes the main character could be misinterpreted or misunderstood.
Well, he's a sensitive artist. He falls in love easily. He adores his wife, but he needs other women. You know, this is also autobiographic, basically. You know, I mean, all
autobiographical yours?
Autobiographic. Boy, I explain to you what Tennessee Williams says about autobiography.
Okay.
So, I mean, you are torn between art and different women. And having different women in your life creates many complications. So he's a sensitive artist surrounded by women having troubles. I think I succeeded in telling Raul Julia and later Bandera something basic. I said to Raul Julia, Raul, you are not God's gift to women. You are not. You are a sensitive Hamlet who needs women, mothers, sisters, lovers. He says, oh my God, that's it. So you see, in Raul Julia, you don't see the man who says, oh, I have many women, you know, I am the best.
Yeah.
But you see a man who is lost.
Yeah.
And he wants a mother and a sister and a lover, you see. So, and that thing, I think, that helped the play tremendously. When I was among the audience, they would say, well, look how sensitive, look at those bedroom eyes. The audience would comment.
By the way, the play, your play has a scene where there are two levels with three bedrooms.
Oh yeah, that's a play, original play.
That's the original play. Now, how much of your play was inspired by Fellini's life or Fellini's as you knew him?
I would say my play, the one written in Italia in 1974,
which is 40 years
it's
old.
Absolutely Fellini. It's the way I saw him, his life, his women, his problems. Perfect. Then I adapted the play into English, because I always adapt my plays from Italian into English. Basically the same idea, okay? The life of Fellini. That's it, his problems. Now, when I was told by Cleban, this is a musical, and I started working for 7 years with Maury Heston, we had to change a lot. There's a tendency to change. Because producers say, you know, this is wrong and this is dangerous. You know, they are investing $10 million. So for 7 years, we had to change and correct and change. And finally, we found the structure, you know. Finally, me and Maury found this beautiful structure, you know. The order of the songs is perfect. The name Contini was invented by me because it's a melange of Visconti and Fellini. And Maury says, oh my God, what a name, wonderful, Contini. You know. And he used it in his songs, also in the film, you know.
Yeah.
So we had this problem of changing continuously. So it's different, the musical, finally, the last version, which we presented to Tommy Tune, and which Kate Hepburn adored, is different from my book. But it was work of me and Maury Heston. Yeah.
The name, the main of the